I'm here to disagree with Suella Braverman and the Met Police Chief. She has said that police should be investigated across the country for getting involved in politically partial campaigns like LGBT rights or Black Lives Matter. Well, Suella Braverman, I think you're wrong again. She makes these claims at a time when there are 115,000 complaints about serving police officers in the last year's figures. 1,000 officers are being investigated for sexually inappropriate behaviour to the extremes we saw with people like Wayne Couzens. Now, these things don't happen by accident. They happen because the police has a level of institutional racism, misogyny and homophobia. We saw it in one example with the serial killer Stephen Port, who murdered 4 gay men and raped 11. An investigation found that institutional failings happened in that case because people made judgments about those gay victims' lives that meant they didn't investigate it properly. So that's why I say that police getting involved with communities, whether it's local fetes and bake sales or whether it's LGBT prides or the black community, that saves lives because then people trust the police. I want Braverman to change her mind.
Sorry, I think that's a bit of a stretch, Benjamin. Sorry for interrupting you there. That was very rude. I thought you'd finished. How is wearing a pride lapel on your police officer outfit, or taking the knee at a Black Lives Matter protest, or skateboarding across Waterloo Bridge when there's a blockade going on by Extinction Rebellion going to stop institutional racism or sexual offenders becoming police officers? I mean, please.
Because it represents a culture. You know what, you think about those rainbow
culture.
cars
Totally
or taking
phony.
the knee and you see those as conspicuous. But to these communities, what is conspicuous is when you have police officers found to be racist or homophobic, as in the case of Charing Cross Police Station.
You really think taking the knee has raised trust of police in the black community?
Yes, I do, because they have to illustrate that they are making an effort to change their culture. And what do those other officers see? They see that it's not acceptable to hold these prejudices when doing their job.
Nonsense.
And the point you make about Port there, about the fact that it wasn't investigated properly, that may well be the case, Benjamin. But what has driving around in rainbow cars like you're some kind of Coco the Clown done to actually combat that? Why they were doing all of this before Port? Why has it not changed anything? It's down to the fact that they're not doing their jobs properly because they're too busy fannying about with these kinds of virtue signalling nonsense.
Macarena. I mean, what is that about, Benjamin? Surely police should be policing. It's got out of hand.
But this is policing because those things happen
because
there is a culture of ignorance and lack of interest in these communities. And when they hold events and when they make the effort to reach out, you understand better.
There's the Macarena there
going
on with the police.
Supposed to be policing, Benjamin,
yes.
And this is a joke.
They
aren't there.
I'm going to ask Albie in a second, but they're meant to be impartial, not meant to be ignorant.
It's not a cabaret show.
That emboldens criminality. Come on, they look like a soft touch.
Right. Yes. Quite frankly, what is a joke, in my opinion, is that the Home Secretary is taking time out of what I imagine is a very busy diary to write a letter about how the police need to stop indulging in woke policing. That is not the priority of a Home Secretary who is interested in cutting immigration, interested in reforming the police, interested in cutting crime. That is the work of someone who's trying to shore up their base to try and lead the Conservative Party if we lose the next general election. I actually wish that both the police and the Home Secretary would simply focus on the day job rather than indulging in these stupid cultural issues.
It wasn't just her who came out against woke policing, was it? It's been a discussion that many constables have been saying, lots of commissioners of the police. Many people have been talking about how you balance, woke policing, whatever you want to call it.
But what does that do?
This is much deeper than that.
What does that do to cut crime?
Hang on. This is much deeper than this, because let's look at cases of people tweeting fairly innocuous things and having the police officers turn up at their door, arrest them, and potentially charge them.
It happens too
many
often.
times. I've got many examples here for you.
A Tory councillor.
Jennifer Swain, 2022, feminist campaigner for posting a sticker on lampposts saying men do not belong in women's prisons. Oh, you have a Tory councillor who was arrested for an alleged hate crime by Northamptonshire police for sharing a video criticising the arrest of a Christian street preacher. This stuff is happening, and it does undermine trust.
And you don't think police have institutional problems with minorities?
Of course I do.
Of course I do. They're wasting their time.
Window dressing.
They're wasting their time on people's feelings, feeling anxious instead of
feeling anxious.
instead of catching burglars and not having rainbow flags on their police cars.
We'll have to